Good afternoon and welcome to Jump In Let's Play. This week we are taking a look at Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. This is a new entry in the Terraforming Mars series of games. This one acts as more a sort of gateway to the Terraforming Mars series. So we're going to sit down with this, we're going to discuss the setup with you and then go through just a couple of turns of play just to give you an idea of how the game plays. So first, the setup. We'll go from the top, work our way down. So we've got our resources boxes here. So we've got our 10s, 5s and 1s. And these will be what we put in here to show what we've actually got in terms of our resources. Here we've got forest tiles. So we've got them in 1s and 5s. And these are just acting as sort of victory points for the game. In the middle here, our main game board, we have our flip down ocean tiles. Throughout the game, these will be turned over, and then the same with the tracks along the sides here. We have got our temperature track and our oxygen track. Again, over time, these will fill up. The objective of the game is to turn over all 9 tiles to get the oxygen up to maximum and get the temperature up to the maximum as well. At that point, that triggers the game ends. To the side here, we have our phases. So each turn, players will choose what phase they want to do on that particular turn, and then we'll just turn these over to highlight exactly which ones are being done. So not every phase will be in every turn. Finally, we have our victory track here. So this is our terraforming rating, and the way this works is that any time we turn the heating up, the oxygen or the tiles, we get a rating on our terraforming. That allows us to get more mega credits as well. Over here we have our project cards. So these are cards that we will be drawing from throughout the game. These will have a variety of different symbols. So I will just bring this up for you now and I can explain these different cards. So we've got red cards, blue cards, and we have green cards. So each card has a cost. It will tell you what it is and it will give you like a tag. These are just building tags. They don't really mean too much in the grand scheme of the game, but some cards, some other project cards, care about what's here, so you'll need to take those into account. Some cards will have requirements, and you can see that here with the yellow tick, and then it will have an effect. Red cards are always instant use, they're done. These ones here, these will have an effect that will play, and it will tell you as well here during what phases as well that will come into effect. And then if we go here, you'll see that we have an action as well that we're able to perform in a certain phase. So again, in phase 3 here, we're able to perform said action. And then here we've got, again, during this phase, we can do something with our production, and again there as well. So that's those cards. And we will be drawing them from here, discarding below if we need to discard out of them. Onto the player area itself, so they are almost identical, so we will just show you this one. So each player has one of these boards. If I have a spare one somewhere, I will give you a better look at it. So on these boards, really handy. So we've got a tracker for our production of various different resources. So we've got our mega credits, we've got our cards, so this is the amount of cards that we can draw. We have our heat, we have our plant, and we have our steel, and I always forget the name of this one, titanium. And then here we have what we actually get in our resources. So you can see on here, even though we've got 0 production rating on our mega credits, we do start with an amount of credits as well. At the top here, it will just give you a quick rundown of what the different phases are, so you've got that to hand. And then along the bottom here are standard actions that you can perform during the action phase of the game. You can perform these as much as you like, as long as you have enough to do them, then you can do those there. And then here, just a little reminder that these tags here will get cheaper for every one of these that you have. Let's put that one away. Here are our phase cards. So what will happen with these is we will pick one and then we will play that face down, and once everyone's chosen we will reveal them and then turn over the appropriate tile up here so we can keep track of what we are doing. So for example, if we went for development and then they chose their one, they would then both flip. If in any game or any turn 2 players choose the same phase, then you just play that phase once. You don't play like development twice if you have more than one person choose development. So that allows you to do that particular ability. And then along the bottom, if you chose that phase card, then you get a little bonus as well that's just for the people who have chosen that card in that turn. Finally, we have our corporation card. So here we have our starting resources. We've got our logo here as well. Here we have our an ability that we can use. Here it says we start with 3 heat production, which you can see we have put on here. We also start with 28 mega credits, which we have put up there. And then here we have another ability as well. So here in phases 1 to 3, we may use heat as mega credits, but we can't use mega credits as heat. So that's an interesting little ability that we've got there. And you can see on this one here, they have a different ability as well as a different starting setup. So the way this will work is we will go to our planning step. So each player will decide what one they are going to pick. So during this you can consult things that are around you. So you can consult your board to see what you've got there. You can consult your cards as well. So you might want to look through, decide what you want to do. Let's start off with something nice and simple for us. So we are going to go with this is quite interesting actually. We're going to go with this one here. So this is what we want to do. So we will want to play the construction phase. So this will allow us to play either one blue card or one red card, and then we get a bonus on that. So we're going to play that face down. This player is then going to choose theirs. So they would look through their cards. Then might also we'll just want to take a look through these as well. So maybe we go for a nuclear plant. So what they would want to do is they will want to show or play this card. Once everyone's chosen their cards, we then turn them over and we start to resolve them. So here we go. So we've got phase 1 and we've got phase 2. So up here, we're going to turn those 2 over to say that these are the phases that are being played this turn. So these phases are done in order. So we'll start with the first phase, development. So players will get to play one project, green project card. Because the red player was the one that chose this card, they get to play 3 less on their mega credits cost for that card. So we'll take a look. Normally this will all be done simultaneously. So they're going to take a look, and as we showed you, this is the card that they were looking at. So we're going to play this. So what will happen is this will go in here, and then they're going to pay 7 for that. So let's take a 10 out and give ourselves 1, 2, 3 back. So during the production phase, this produces 1 mega credit and 3 heats. So it's quite a handy little one. We also have a tag here as well, which meant actually we will be able to pay 2 less. So let's take our 2 back because of this here. This player then gets to decide if they want to. With these phases, it is an option, so you don't have to do that. But let's take a look through and see if we have anything. So we don't really have anything at the moment. This has a prerequisite which we can't hit thus far. Same with this here where we don't have enough credits. So we can't really do anything in this turn. So we're not going to do anything on this turn. We now move to the construction phase. So each player may play 1 blue or 1 red, and then this player has a bonus that they are able to do. So let's go through again. So 1 blue or 1 red. Okay, so he's going to go for this one here. There we go. He's going to pay 8 for that, so let's put that in there, take 2 back. And then this one will provide us an action. So if we chose, or someone chose the action phase on the next go, we can reveal the top card of the deck. If it's green, discard it and gain a mega credit, otherwise draw it. And then this player here, so they're going to play their Olympus Conference. So this costs us 15, and you can see we've got quite a few little tags there, so it's quite handy. We also have a victory point on this one, so this is really good for us. And here you can see that there's an effect in phases 1 and 2. So whenever we play a card with this symbol, including this one, we draw a card. So we will get to take advantage of that effect straight away. So we pay our 15. There we go. And then we get to draw a card. So we're going to draw a card. We have got one of these ones. We also get to do our bonus. So we can either draw a card or we can play an additional blue or red card this phase. So we'll just take a look through, see what there is. So these ones have requirements that we can't fulfill just yet. So let's play this one. So this one looks quite an interesting one. So it's got the same tag, so we're already getting a nice little bit of synergy here. So we're going to be drawing a card here, and we have an action as well for the 3rd phase where we reveal the top cards of the deck, place a card with either of these 2 symbols into our hand, discard the rest. So we're going to play this here. Now when you play them, you can just overlap them like this so that the symbol for the actions and effects are showing. You can obviously take a look anytime you like, but it's just a nice space saving tip. So we get to draw a card off of that. We also pay our 3 and we draw a card. So we've got a toll station. So that's quite handy there. Now that that phase is over, these cards are not allowed to be used on the next turn, so however best you do it, they do describe a way in the book, or you can just put them underneath your deck face up, which is how I prefer to do it, to say that that card cannot be chosen. For the next phase, you'll then pick a different card. As I said, we can't, for example, take construction here, but then on our next turn we can put construction back into the deck. So we will take a look and see what we want to do. So we're going to go let's go for action. So that's going to be the card that we would choose. At this point you can then put that back in if you so wish, because we've used that. And then this player here, they're going to look through and let's see what they might want to do, hey? So they might want to go for construction. So once everyone's decided, again, we will reveal our cards. We will then turn over the appropriate phases. There we go. And again, we will play these phases in order with the players that have chosen that specific phase, getting their bonus action, and again, always simultaneously. So we'll start with the red player first. So here, each player may play a blue card or a red card. So the red player, seeing this one, Farmer's Market. So here we have a nice ability for it. Spend 1 maker credit to gain 2 plants, which is quite nice. We get a victory point with this as well. Only costs us 12. So we get rid of that and we get rid of 2 of them. So we also get a bonus here, so we could play an additional card or we can draw a card. So to take a look, this requires a prerequisite on the little symbol there. So we don't really want anything there, so we're just going to draw a card. What have we got? We've got an ice asteroid, flip to ocean tile. So that's quite a handy one there. Okay, and then on to this player. So they get to play a red or a blue card. So let's see what they have. So we've got a few that are sort of out of reach for us. So here we go. So we've got this interim. So when we draw cards during the research phase, that is phase 5, we get to draw 2 additional cards. So it's quite handy. We also have another one of these tags as well, which means that this triggers this effect. Whenever we play it, we can draw a card. So that worked out quite nicely for us. So we're going to play that. We're going to play our 3 for that one. So we've got 7 left. We then also get to draw a card. So we have drawn a card here. This card requires us to spend 3 heat, gain 4 plants, and add 2 animals or microbes to another card. So that's quite a handy one there. So that is the construction phase done. We then go to the action phase, where players can activate action effects and standard actions. So action effects, we can only do these once, but the standard actions, we can do these as many times as we like, as long as we can afford to do so. So we'll take a look at this player's actions first. So they have got here, action, we can reveal the top cards of the deck. If it is green, discard it and gain a mega credit, otherwise draw it. So let's reveal green. So we discard it and we gain a mega credit. Here we can spend 1 mega credit to gain 2 plants. So plants are going to be another resource that's going to be helpful for us. This will allow us to get these little tiles here. So we're going to do just that. So we're going to take 1 out of there, and then we're going to put 2 into the plants there. Now we can spend points to move things up. So let's take a look, see what we want to do. So we can turn up the heat. So we can spend heat, or we can spend mega credits to turn that heat up. We can also flip over ocean tiles. So we can spend 15 to flip over one of these. This will then give us a sort of bonus and effect. We can spend 8 plants to gain a forest token, which will also then allow us to raise the oxygen 1 step, or 20 credits to gain a forest tile, and again move the oxygen up 1 step. So let's take a look, see what we might want to do here. So let's spend our 15. So we've got 5 there and we've got 10 there. And what we are going to do then is flip an ocean tile. So we're going to go for this one here. We flip it over, so we get 1 card, we get 1 mega credit. So 1 card and 1 mega credit. So not too bad there at all. Any other standard actions that we can perform? Not at the moment. So we will leave it there for the time being. Over to this player here. So they've got 1 action that they can perform. So we reveal the top 3 cards of the deck. Place a card with a plant symbol or a science symbol revealed this way into your hand, discard the rest. So we're going to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we get to take that farming co-ops and that will go into our hands. These cards are then discarded. Because we've got our bonus, we can activate an action an additional time, so we will do that again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got this one here, which has got enough symbols for that, so we are going to take that as well. And these 2 cards again will be discarded. Okay, so these cards then go back to the players, and those won't be allowed to be used for the next turn. And again, players will then choose a card from here and decide which one they want to do for that turn, taking in mind any bonuses that they may get from that card, as well as what they have in their hands. The other thing you'll need to check at the end of each turn is for number of cards in hand. So if you have more than 10, you would need to discard down to 10 cards. For each card you do discard, that way you do get 3 mega credits. That is also an action you can perform at any point during the game as well. You can just discard a card for 3 mega credits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are perfectly fine there. And our other player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right on the cusp there. So as I said, you will then choose your next card, decide what you want to do based on your resources you have here. And then, as I said, the objective of the game is to build up your various constructions here, your various buildings, your projects as they call them, building up your production of different resources, which will allow you to be able to move the tracks up, so moving the oxygen up, moving the temperature up, and revealing these tiles. So that is the basic gameplay of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. It's still in the board games library, so you can come down, you can take a look at the game, you can have a look through the rules. It's quite a weighty rule book, there's a lot of writing in there, but if you would like to play, I'll be happy to sit down with you to explain the game, run through the rules and help you get started on that. There's a lot of moving parts to this, but it's a beautiful engine building game, and once you kind of get past how wordy the rulebook is, then it's actually a fairly straightforward process to the game. Well, that's it for this one. If you have said any questions at all about anything that we do in the shop, just ask us below, pop into the shop on Ramsgate High Street, or call us on 01843 316 281. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.